everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is the ML Scholar, and today, as promised, I'll be going over the skill sheet that was released just a day ago or something, and I was filming another video so I didn't get the chance to film this, so now I'm filming this. Now we'll be discussing in an in-depth review or analysis about Quaxalcroc, who will be available in the Tribal Fire Maze. And if you want to know a little bit of a background story and how to get this monster, basically you can do so by watching my previous video on Quaxalcroc. So before I begin, I would sincerely request you all to pause this video for 1 second and go down below and click on that subscribe button right there and turn on those notifications to stay updated about all of the latest monsters and getting sneak peeks and also getting in-depth reviews like this. Now if you've done so, thank you very much. And even if you haven't done so, I'd like to thank you all for just giving me the time and, you know, I appreciate you watching my videos, right? So, some people are calling this monster the OP mythic monster, and I kind of agree because this monster is very, very good, and this kind of scares me as well, seeing the direction in which mythics are heading. I have seen Illion and she is pretty good as well, and I have done a video on that as well, so you can check that out. Shameless plug, but yeah, it is what it is. So first of all, we have a life stat of 60,320. Now this is a pretty standard life in my opinion for mythic monsters, and it's pretty great, to be honest. It gives them a chance to tank heavy hitters from the legendary category, and I really like that. And for the power, we have 5,544. Now this is also not such a great power stat, but that does not matter simply because this monster relies on DOTs rather than power, and this power is basically higher than every legendary monster out there except just very select few. And then we have the speed stat of 4,664. Now this is higher in I think from yoroi and some of the other mythic monsters as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, the speed stat does not really matter. You could run this monster with team speed or with a single speed and 2 attack runes, or you could shift that attack rune up with 2 team speed runes or a single speed rune. That just depends on you and how you want to run this monster. I personally would run this monster with a single attack rune and 2 team speeds, but that's just me. You can run it however you want. And for the trait, we have already discussed this. It is already an evolving trait. Now this trait is what makes this monster so special, provided you get him at rank 3. Now getting this monster at rank 3 is going to be the real challenge, and you'll have to shell out some cash for that as usual. So this will be available in the Tribal Fire Maze. You'll probably have to purchase maze coins or do something else to get this monster at rank 3. I'm guessing you can get this monster at rank 1 if you work hard enough. That will give it a stun immunity and a possession immunity, and you just might be able to get it at rank 3 or something. Depends upon how Social Point basically structures the entire maze, but I'm guessing it won't be so easy to get this monster at rank 3. For the relics, again, pretty standard relics for an attacker. Just like yoroi, this monster has a sword relic and an armor relic, like I have mentioned in my yoroi video as well. This monster may be equipped with Mission Sword, Cane Sword, Jakugan Sword. All of the sword options are really great out there, or you could use some swords that drain stamina and all, so you could use that as well. For armors, pretty great armors are available out there as well, from the diamond category, from the gold category, the Tombs armor being a example of it. So yeah, you could run any of those armors. For books, there we have the Underworld, the Dragon, and Adventurous book, all three very usable books. So yeah, a great addition to each and every one. So for tier 1, we have Aztec Fire, which is a 40 damage single cooldown 0 stamina cost move that deals a modifier damage to one enemy, applies burn to one enemy, requires cooldown. Now the special thing about this skill, and that's what I didn't realize when we were doing that because the skill sheet wasn't released, is this is a 0 stamina cost move. So this could be very useful when you are going up against monsters that drain stamina or that have relics equipped that drain stamina. So you could shift in this move and, you know, be safe on that angle basically. So we have the second move, which is a Dragon's Cry, which deals more special damage to all enemies, applies nightmares to all enemies, requires cooldown, and it is a 30 damage AoE with a single cooldown special with a 25 stamina cost. Now right now the stamina costs are not that high for this monster, and I'm really liking that considering that this monster has a 2 AE stamina. This monster can go on long. And this monster also has a 0 stamina cost move, so I'm pretty happy about that as well. Now for tier 2, we have Sun Hammer, deals very heavy special damage to one enemy, applies fire weakness, burn, ignition to one enemy, requires cooldown. Now this is a 2-turn cooldown move with a 55 damage output, and the stamina cost is 47, not that bad, and yeah, this is a very good single hitting move. Then we have another move which I will probably butcher the pronunciation, so forgive me for that. mythical. I am so sorry, I completely butchered that up, but that applies nightmares to one enemy, gives 1 extra turn to itself, requires cooldown. Now, I am not in favor of extra turn skills, not at all. If you have watched any of my videos, you know I absolutely abhor extra turn skills simply because there's so many anticipation monsters out there, and everyone out there is using anticipation monsters, and yeah, it wouldn't be a wise move to run this just for giving the enemies nightmares, you know, and it has a 0 damage output, so I wouldn't really run this. For tier 3, we have Blaze Rain, which is a 30 damage AoE with a 59 stamina cost and a 3-turn cooldown that deals modifier damage to all enemies, applies burn and sunburn to all of the enemies as well. So yeah, pretty great move, and I'm guessing that's what makes this monster so special as well. And this is an AoE that deals 30 damage, which isn't that much, but since this monster does not even have a high power output, that does not matter at all. What matters is that it will apply burn and sunburn to all enemies as well as deal damage on top of that. And considering that these mythic monsters have extremely high life stats, so that will be very useful as well. Then we have Ember Storm, deals modifier damage to all enemies, applies ignition to all enemies. So yeah, another great DOT you could run in conjunction with Blaze Rain. First you do Blaze Rain, or either you do Ember Storm, then follow this up with that, and this will deal quite a lot of damage once you have landed all of the DOTs on enemy monsters. Now one thing you have to keep in mind is this is a 90% accuracy move, and this might have a chance not to land, especially if you have effects like sunburn or daze or blind, so be sure to not have those, or even if you have those, clear those negative effects before you do any of these moves, because they won't land and that will make this monster basically useless. But that's beside the point, and that does not happen often, by the way. So yeah, then we have the ultimate, that is Heat Infernal, deals heavy fire damage to all of the enemies, applies burn, sunburn and ignition to all enemies. Nothing too special about the special, and basically does 50 damage and has an accuracy of 120%, which is the usual for specials, nothing too OP. Now, so what moves would I recommend? The moves, obviously both of the tier 3 moves, and I would consider running Sun Hammer simply because it applies fire weakness, burn, ignition to one enemy, also deals very heavy special damage. You could use this to take out those pesky Megaton monsters as well, because god, are they a pain in the butt. Anyways, so yeah, these are the 3 moves, and one more that I would run, that is a modified damage, applies burn, or I could substitute it with Dragon's Cry depending upon the situation. I would personally run Aztec Fire simply because when I'm going against monsters that remove all of your stamina, I would choose that. If I'm not going against monsters like those, I would choose Dragon's Cry. And yeah, that's it for this monster, and that concludes my analysis on this. Hope you liked it. I know it was a bit brief, and I think I covered all of the points. You have any other combos that you could run it with in conjunction, any other ideas, any other comments from me, please leave them in the comments down below. I always respond to you all, and I will continue doing so. And obviously please do consider subscribing and liking this video and sharing this video with friends. I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, that's it for this. See you in the next one. Bye bye. Also, side note, I know I talk too fast. I'm trying to tone it down, but it isn't really my style, so yeah, please don't mind that. Bye bye.